Ag Week Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What will the weather have in store in the upcoming weeks? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Ag Week weather now as we take it right on through the mid part of March, and it's still typical March weather, not only in the northern plains, upper Midwest, southern Canada, but really throughout the United States. It's an active weather pattern that brings a good chance for strong thunderstorms in the south, and sometimes those build up into the Midwest when the weather pattern is right. And further to the north, the winter snowstorms now introduce the option of rain and snow. Let's take a look at where those storms are likely to be. The main polar jet stream troughing in the west coast region, bit of reaching through the Midwest and then troughing over the east coast, but it's not a terribly strong jet stream, so it's not attaching itself to any late season Arctic air at the moment. In fact, it's allowing for some very mild weather to come northward into the central plains, with temperatures in the orange indicating a lot of weather as warm as the 70s. Now, this week will be a little transitional in the northern plains. We're not going to see a big push of cold weather, but there's snow on the ground in some parts of these areas up into southern Canada, and that makes for a pretty sharp temperature contrast. There will be a chance for some weather coming up in this, but it looks like this branch of the jet stream this week will be relatively weak and not yield any heavy precipitation. But where the southern subtropical jet stream and the polar jet stream get their acts together, there could be some heavier weather down here in the south and in the mid-south and up into the northeastern states. And the west coast will continue to have some chances of precipitation. As we go on through the week, the pattern looks like it will deliver a little bit of chillier weather into the northern plains and Great Lakes. Nothing really terribly cold, though, just a bit of a transition there. Then as we move ahead into the middle of the month of March, the St. Patrick's Day weekend and afterwards, it looks like there will again be a little bit of troughing here into the northeastern states that'll pull down a little bit of cold weather mid-month, and this could potentially set up a track that could yield some Alberta clippers that might yield some narrow swaths of rain and snow into some areas of the northern plains. For this coming week, March 10th through 16th, looks like we'll see one storm system or two along the eastern seaboard with rain and storms south and snow in the north. Looks like toward the end of the period, an area of thunderstorms will start forming over Texas. And out in the west coast, the rains won't likely make it all the way down to San Diego, but a lot of California and the Sierras and the Pacific Northwest in line for more precipitation. Now, moving ahead to the second week, obviously a little iffier part of the forecast, but I would anticipate the eastern fourth or third of the country will continue to be stormy, and this could be some of those Alberta clippers. Probably not heavy snow, but definitely some impactful systems in the northern plains.